Hey guys, it's Chase here on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and today what I have for you is the Gemmy 2010 Spirit Halloween life-size H20 Michael Myers. This is an item that I actually picked up yesterday along with a brand new Hannibal Lecter. I got them both. Well, I paid for this one. My friend paid for a Hannibal. I kind of do a combined display with a local friend of mine. And so he tagged along with me. He bought the Hannibal, and I bought the H20 right here. So we got them both for a pretty good price. I think I only drove about an hour and a half, give or take, to get it. Not down and back. It was an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. So not really local, but decently close. This is one of two Michael Myers that Gemmy did. They did a Rob Zombie back in 2009, and then they did this one the year later in 2010. This Michael Myers happens to be my favorite Gemmy Michael Myers that they did. And before everybody starts screaming in the comments like how much better Rob Zombie is and everything like that, I don't care. I've always liked this one better. It's the one that I would always see growing up. You know, somebody, like one or two people near me had this one in a display, you know, when we go trick-or-treating when we were little. Or at least when I was little, I'd see him. You know, I never saw him in stores because I never went to Spirit back in the day. But I would always see him in displays, you know, on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So I've always just had more of an attachment to this one than the Rob Zombie. And, you know, I don't want anybody saying that I'm biased just because I have this one. Guys, we have a Rob Zombie too. It's in the display that we do. So we have both of these. And so I'm not being biased just because I have this one. I'm more of a fan of this one than I am the Rob Zombie. And there's a few things I could probably go over that, or why I might like this one more, which I will do throughout the video. But I got this guy yesterday. He was basically fully working. I didn't need to replace any gears in him because he was mint. He has all original gears to my knowledge, except for the eyes. I replaced those yesterday, and they weren't even split. I just replaced them because I was not going to have this sitting in storage and I'll come back and they'd be split. Because I don't know if they were ever replaced or if it was original or whatever, but I went in and replaced them. So those are replaced. So now, you know, he's all good. He was good when I got him, but now he's like really just completely set now. This guy has 4 animations. He's got arm movement, body turn, head turn, and eye movement. And he was made during, I think, in my opinion, the prime years for Gemmy. I mean, you got so many amazing, at least horror animatronics that came out throughout those years. Like from 2009 to 2012, absolute golden years for Gemmy, in my opinion. If you were talking about like inflatables or something, I would say like 2007 to 2012, maybe 13, because we did get some good technology in 2013. But as far as life sizes, I mean 2009 to 2012 has always been my favorite, even though we got mostly remakes throughout those years. We still did get a few nice pull-based items. But yeah, so this guy was definitely made during the golden years. We got so many great animations. I mean, for example, we've got the 2010 Freddy Krueger. That one's got 6 animations, which for one character by itself is insane. I think I've said it throughout different videos before, like in my Fortune Witch video or like a trio band video or whatever. Yeah, those have a lot of movements, but those are split amongst different characters. Whereas the Freddy Krueger, that's all in one character. That's him. Freddy Krueger himself has the 6 movements, not split with a different character, you know, not different penguins or anything. No, this is just him. So I definitely think that Michael was made during the golden years. So I really I love the year this guy was made. So he stands about, I'd say 6.5 feet tall, maybe. Or actually, that doesn't really sound right. Probably like 6 foot, you know, 2 or 3. He's definitely not a small character, but also he's smaller than Jason, which doesn't really make sense because if you look at the statistics in the movies, Michael Myers is typically bigger than Jason. Now, it might vary throughout the movies, but to my knowledge, Michael is supposed to be bigger than Jason. So it's kind of odd that Jason ended up being the tallest, or one of the tallest characters that Gemmy did, next to Boris Karloff. But I'm not complaining. This guy is still very big. He's a lot bigger than the Freddy Krueger. He's bigger than Ghostface. So at least he is bigger than those characters, which, you know, I can appreciate. I'm glad that they didn't make them all the same height. He's got some great detail. I know that a lot of people complain about the face and the eyes, and that people say that it's not screen accurate or anything. I did not buy this guy for screen accuracy. I bought it because this item is just nostalgic to me. I've always wanted one of these. I've always liked this guy. So that's why I bought him. But I know that people say that the face and the eyes just don't look right. Well, as far as the face, you know, give or take, I like the original Gemmy face they have right here because it's just classic to me. I'm not denying that it's probably not screen accurate, but I'm very used to this face, so I'm fine with it. And the eyes, people will either say, well, it's not screen accurate that he has black eyes, or that you really can't see the eyes moving. He looks demonic with the black eyes. I love the fact that he has those dark eyes just because he looks terrifying with them. You could give him regular eyes. I've seen people give him like butler eyes or something, or just blue eyes. And, you know, it still looks good. You can see the eyes moving a lot better. But, I mean, he just looks scary with those black eyes. Like, it's... like, it could genuinely freak somebody out, I feel like. He's just terrifying to look at. Like, even him not doing... like, he's more scary not moving than he is moving. Like, it's just... I mean, I have... a few times, I've, like, saw him out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what the hell? I thought it was a real person. Because a lot of these characters that they were making around those years, like, they really have, like, a really good shaped body shell. The arms are proportionate, the head, you know, everything about these characters. Like, if you're looking at the corner of your eye, you'd say, well, that's probably a real person. So it did catch me off guard a few times. But with all that being said, you can see he has the box. I will get an up-close look at him. Like I said, he's in fantastic shape. The only issue that this guy has is there's a little bit of the paint missing on his neck, which is to be expected if this guy was used a lot, because the collar and the black undershirt likes to rub on the neck because of the amount that the head is turning. It like that the head is the, next to the eyes, is the animation that goes off the most during the activation. So his neck is constantly rubbing up against the collar and the undershirt, which ends up scraping off the paint. And he's not the only character that has this issue. You have the 2011 Jason that also has that issue, along with Graves the Fat Butler. I've had that issue with him too. Basically, any life size that has a, you know, a thick shirt or jacket and doesn't have like colored PVC, like they actually painted over the PVC, those characters typically have paint loss. But fortunately, it only ends up being on the neck. I feel like it would be pretty difficult to lose paint on the actual face itself. That seems to be a thicker type paint, or just, I don't know, just overall a more durable color or paint or whatever, because I don't ever see paint missing on the faces. With that being said, I will get an up-close look at him. You guys can see all the bloody details on him, the neck that I was talking about, the detail on the jumpsuit, because you might not be able to see it from back here, but he does have some dark spots on the jumpsuit where it's supposed to look like he has mud and whatever, and you know, you get to see the hair, the classic base, everything. So yeah, I will go ahead and get up close to him for you guys. Alright, so here he is up close. The ending program is not meant to have his arm in the up position when he's done. I mean, unless you have it wired backwards, but I do have it pushed up just for the up close shots because it looks pretty cool with the knife in the up position. So I guess starting with the face, you can see it's very well detailed. You've just got so much going on here. I mean, it just looks like a very rough mask, like it's been around, it's been aging a little bit. It's not white as it's, I mean, it is white, but it's not like just pearly white. Like, you've got like dark spots and everything on it. And this one actually, because I've seen an issue, if you keep the heads in the box for too long up against the blue clothing, there will be blue spots on this. So fortunately, this does not have that issue. I guess this was like displayed out of the box for a long time. You can see that there is an indent for the black eyes. Like, you got the mask and then it kind of goes in a little bit and it's just black right here. I think the Rob Zombie is the same way, but the Rob Zombie does not have a flexible PVC mask like this. And this is another reason why I prefer this model over the Rob Zombie. I'm not a big fan of the plastic look, but with the Rob Zombie, you're not getting the risk of having paint chipping off. So there's pros and cons with owning the Rob Zombie and this one. But I just love that it has the soft mask on it. But it is kind of a pain to take it off when you repair it, so I guess that is another con with this one. You can see here's the neck. It's a skin tone, but on the side here, if I kind of unzip it a little bit, and mine, you can hold on, I'm gonna put the camera down for a second on his shoulder. Okay. You can see on, at least on mine, you can zip it down. I don't think you're supposed to be able to. I could be wrong. I think it's supposed to be like sewn up or something, or that might just be on the Rob Zombie, I don't know. So you can see down here, there's some paint loss. Actually, there's some major paint loss. It's actually worse than I thought. But it's more when you go down. Like if you have it pulled up to about here, there's none. Like it doesn't go up to here or anything, fortunately. It just seems like they had the collar like rubbed up right against right there. And if I could actually like have the collar pulled to the point where it would be up like that, I could definitely have it down. But when you have it zipped all the way up, the head goes from a very fast belt-driven mech to a slow gear-driven mech because his head does not move fast when you have it zipped all the way up. And I could leave it like this, but after his head turns for a while, the black will start to go down. But you know, it still looks good with the black pulled up because you can still kind of see the paint and everything, and it just kind of shows that he has a black undershirt. So I don't mind it being up like that. I have to have it up, or you'll see the paint coming off, but I don't mind having it up like that. Here's the knife. You can see it is incredibly detailed. Just great blood on the knife. It looks great. I have seen some examples of knives where it looks awful. Like I think on the Donna's, with the boyfriend head, as people call it, the knives typically don't look too good on that one. I could be just like thinking of a bad one, but the ones that I've seen, the knives don't look too good on it. And you've got detail on both sides as well. And the knife itself does come apart. There is a button on this side right here that you'd push, and that allows you to take the top part of the knife off, and then this part can slide through the hand. So the knife does come off. The hand, however, does not come off, which I was surprised to find that out because I know the majority of the life sizes that were released that year have a removable hand. And it's not just because there are a few that you don't have electronics going through the hand, because Ghostface, he doesn't have an electronic going through, and you can remove his hands. So I don't know why they didn't do that with this one, but he doesn't need it. When his hand is all the way down, he can still collapse fine, whereas like with Freddy Krueger, you can't do that or you'll break his knives. Here's the jumpsuit. You can see that there's some like dark spots and stuff around it. It's very lightly painted. It's not like faded or anything. This is how it's supposed to be. But it is kind of light, but you do still see some dark spots on it. It really just shows up better in person than it does on camera. And here is the... Actually, I'll show. He's got like pockets and stuff. I don't think he's got anything on the... Oh, no, he does have pockets on the back. So it's just like a regular jumpsuit. Here's the base. It's just a classic Gemmy base, and I cleaned this, and it already has dust back on it, which is very notorious for Gemmy props. Like you can, like if you look at like prototypes in the factory, like ones that were just made, even those have like debris on the base, or at least like dust. So they are dust collectors. You can see that there's no volume control or anything. It takes 2500 milliamps, 9 volts. I'm using a 2000 milliamp on it, which works fine. I just have the regular horror character plugs that they were doing back in like 2010. You can see it is a 2.0 amp. And he's got the regular button bass, and I love how just clean and everything the springs are. Like, I typically with the horror ones, they are in good shape, but the ones that were like used outside or like, you know, got wet or something, they lose that color. So I love how shiny it is. And here's the box. It's not in the best shape, but you know, as I've always said, I'm just happy to have the box. And I will show the hands on Michael. I forgot to do that. I will show those. Here's the prototype. You can see that he has blue eyes and he has an afro for some reason. This one looks a little bit more like the production, but I think the eyes are still a little bit different. And again, he's got an afro. I much prefer how the hair is on this one, where it's just kind of combed back. His head moves as he taunts you and your guests. Sound and motion activated, he is. You can see the Spirit logo right there. Although mine doesn't seem to have the price on it, or maybe it does in the front. But it's got the Gemmy logo, 2010. It's the same thing on the sides. Yeah, like usually the Spirit, or no, here it is. $279.99. That's very expensive for this guy. It's about what I paid. But yeah, it's the same thing on all the sides, so it's not the most detailed box. It was kind of a gamble, you know, what you were seeing with the life-size box. Like, some are very well detailed, and then you have some that are boring. I wouldn't say this is boring or anything. I'd say this is kind of like in between. And you've got the official Michael Myers mask right there, which looks awesome. And then I will show the hands. You can see he's got very realistic hands right here. It's all bloodied up. I do wish that I could pull this up a little bit more so you could see the arm like that, but it just ends up going back down. And it does not look good when it's all crumpled up like that, like at the top. But you can at least see it a little bit. And then for... it should be reversed, because like it's not long enough right here because you can see the black, but it's too long right there. It should have been reversed. You can see a bloodied up hand right here. A lot of blood right here, but just a very nice sculpt for the hand. It looks great. I love it. It just looks like a guy that's really, you know, just gotten out of like a butchery or like I murdered somebody. Like, it really looks very good. And then there's like a zip tie, or it's like stapled right here. I don't know. And this is just inflatable fabric, nylon. But yeah, that's all I have to say about him. He still has the pass sticker on the back there, which is cool. Always nice. Very well detailed. I'm trying to think what else there is to say about him. The pitch of him, I haven't gotten to activating him yet, but I love the pitches on these H20s. They're a lot lower pitch. I've never really been a fan of the Gemmy Halloween theme high pitch. It sounds more just tormenting and demonic when it's lower. So I love that it was actually lower on this piece. But on the Rob Zombie, it's a higher pitch, which is okay. As long as, like, at least it plays the Halloween theme, but I do like that it's lower pitch on this guy. But yeah, with all that being said, I will go ahead and activate it for you guys. Alrighty guys, so I have him plugged in. He's got one activation, he's got one phrase, or he doesn't really have phrases, but he's got the Halloween theme song, so I don't know how long the activation is, but because he only has one, I guess you could call it a phrase. I don't really know what to call it. Just because he only plays the song, it's decently long. I think it's probably about a minute 5, minute 10-ish. I could be wrong about that, but I think when I took a video of him to share it to somebody, it ended up being that long. Yeah, so he's got that one song. It's like the newer Michael Myers. Not the song itself, just the fact that they don't have any phrases or anything. It's just, you know, one activation. And speaking of the newer ones, this is so much better than any, like, newer Michael Myers that you'll find nowadays. I mean, this guy may not be the fan favorite over Rob Zombie, but I think that we could all agree this guy, at the very least, is just so much better than any Michael Myers you'll see nowadays. Even the one, I would say, even without seeing it, the Spirit one that's going to be released this year will not come anywhere close to this one. It could even play the Halloween theme, and it still will not come close to this one. We're getting 7 different movements. It's very animated, so bloody, great detail. You got the collapsing back, everything. You just will not find one like this nowadays. So, With that being said, if you find one, I mean, not even finding one, because it's pretty common. You guys gotta go out there and get you one, because it's just that cool. But yeah, I will go ahead and activate it for you guys. So I have no idea if you could see the paint loss on the neck when he was turning. Probably not. I could see like a little bit of it. But typically, if you have the undershirt or the collar up, then you shouldn't see it. I don't know how this guy was meant to be displayed. I see on the box how it's down. But I see so many videos where it's either up or down. Like I have no preference. I mean, I'm going to have it up just so you can't see the paint loss on it. And I don't think it looks bad having it up. I could have it down, but I think this thing was initially positioned up because it has better memory staying up than down. Basically meaning like you'll have a better time trying to have the collar stand up than keeping it down. And I was not the one that initially stated this, but I will steal a quote from one of my friends. Somehow the Gemmy Halloween theme has actually become more nostalgic than the official version. I totally agree. I mean, some people might disagree, but I've just heard this theme so many times as a kid, so many times, you know, now it's just, I hear this theme more than the actual, like, the official Halloween theme. So this theme has just become more nostalgic to me than the official. So I love that this character plays the Gemmy theme. And there are a few other Halloween themes that sound awesome, but I mean, the Gemmy Halloween theme is not bad whatsoever. It sounds great. It was properly done. It doesn't sound cheap or anything. It really does sound like an official version that would be used in one of the movies. Like, it does sound super good. But I will activate it one more time. I'll kind of get some zoomed in shots of it. You can see that the animation works very well on it. The body turn might be a little bit loud. I don't know how they're supposed to be. It seems to be a very common issue with the body turn. Sometimes it's very loud, sometimes it's quiet. It's, you know, it just kind of varies, and it might happen after the gear is replaced. Maybe somebody replaces it with a different type gear. Like, I know that if you replace like a 9-tooth with a 10-tooth or vice versa or whatever, like if you give it a different gear, motor shaft gear, than what it's supposed to have, it will be a little bit louder. So that could be what's going on here if it was replaced. I don't think it was. I don't think this thing was ever opened up. But if it does split, I will outsource to see what type of gear it's supposed to have. So if it did have the wrong gear, I will give it the one it's supposed to have. But for now, it sounds very healthy. It's a little noisy, but you can't hear it over the music, and I don't really care. I mean, like, nobody's gonna come up to this thing and think it's real. Like, it's obviously an animatronic, so noise is to be expected. But I will activate it again for you guys. Should be able to see the eyes moving. And the body turn on this one actually works very well. This is another reason why I do prefer the this one over the Rob Zombie. The clothing is less thick on it, so the body turn works quite well on it. So you guys, that's pretty much it. Really hope you guys enjoyed. I love this piece. Again, if you find one for a good price, pick it up. Usually I'll say if you can find one in general, pick it up, but this is not an uncommon item. It is a Spirit Halloween item, so it's not too hard to find, because I think each Spirit probably got around like, 5 or 6 of these. Maybe even more. I know they got a bunch of the Hannibal Lecters, but I don't know how many they got of this one. So, if you find one for a good price, pick it up. More specifically locally, so you don't have to pay the outrageous shipping prices, because a lot of people, unless you're getting this off of a collector, a lot of people on eBay don't know how to ship correctly. So, because I've seen some cases where they will ship these items actually like standing up, like they won't be collapsed down, which that's kind of scary that people don't know that you can do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys again next time.